sometimes we are put into situations that we cannot do on our own. Sometimes you need help. And it is nothing wrong with asking for help. We go back to kind of what we were talking about on our last episode and what we talk about throughout this show of it is not a sign of weakness to admit that you cannot do something or that you need help with trying to deal with something. So by all means, if there is a change going on in your life and you are overwhelmed and you feel like you're trying to learn from it, but you're not quite there and you need a helping hand, ask for help. That's what your circle is for, man. That's what the circle is for. So make sure that you're asking for help. And that can be friends, loved ones, spouses, a coworker, a therapist, just wherever that is for you. Don't be scared to ask for the help because we're all in this together. We talk about an interconnected universe and it's a spider web and one vibration moves another vibration. And that's what we're here for. So we're not meant to do this thing alone. That's not how it works. So you know what I mean?
Most definitely. And I've been on my own religious faith-based journey of trying to grow a deeper relationship with God. And everybody has the right to feel free to worship whatever they want, and
Absolutely.
what have you. But my faith, I've really been thinking about and talking about with a lot of different people. God wouldn't put something in front of you if he knew you couldn't overcome it.
Exactly.
And so you can't think about it. This isn't happening to me, it's happening for me.
Yep.
There's always things put in your path so that you can overcome, so you can grow, so you can learn from what you have going on in your life. And there's a reason that it's there. We're huge believers and everything happens for a reason.
Without doubt.
So I definitely feel like that's something as well. You have to have some sort of comfortability when a certain situation presents itself to where you have to adapt. You have to be comfortable, or at least a little comfortable with adapting to situations, because if you're not, you're going to stay in that little anxious bubble and not be able to grow outside of that and take risk and take chances, because some of the best things come out of risks. They come out
Without
of
doubt.
taking chances and experiences. So I think that is definitely most important, because you don't want to be 60 years old, 70 years old down the line and not have experienced anything because you never adapted to anything, like a big move out of high school, or, a relationship that failed, or any different thing like that. You learn from situations in the past so that you can grow for the future. That's the biggest thing. And being on my journey and being trying to become more comfortable with talking to people about it, I feel like is me adapting to what I believe in, what I want to believe in, and not being afraid to say that. I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest thing, because religion is always that topic that I feel like people sometimes get uncomfortable with.
For
And
sure.
I know I've been in situations before where I I felt like it was being, shoved down my throat, in
Right.
lack of better terms. So to be able to grow my own relationship with religion and with God and a higher power, I feel like is most important, and being comfortable with that. And that's me adapting to this new lifestyle and this things that have been in my life forever, but I'm welcoming to have a bigger place in my life.
Yeah. And like to follow up on that and to keep going with that theme, it's be proud of the things that you've accomplished and or learned. Step
Mm-hmm.
into it. Say, it's because of this that this happened. Like for me, one of the things is I was always a very shy kid. I didn't talk a whole lot. I had one or two friends, that was about it. And it got significantly worse after my dad died. I basically just retreated and didn't talk at all. I just was not, it was me, my twin sister, and my little brother. And, at that point, my little brother's like a baby. So there's no, it's basically, that was it. But hey, we're going to just up and move from New York and go to Florida. Hey, we're going to do this. Hey, we're moving from this house to this house and you have to start a new school again. And you have to then do this and that. It forced me to have to learn to communicate. I got to come out of that shell and talk to people. Otherwise, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. You got to stop being shy. You got to go, okay, if I'm going to keep being in these new situations, I'm going to have to keep making new friends. I'm going to have to learn how to put myself out there and communicate. And so without the stuff that I went through as a child, the mouth may never have existed, right? This being able to be comfortable in a room of strangers and pitching our film projects or walking into a big charity event with people that you shouldn't be in the room with, that comfortability came from being forced to move so many times and learning to adapt to being in rooms and situations with people that I didn't know. And so you have to look at it that way. Be proud of the things that you have learned and overcome because of the situations that you were in, because of the changes in environment, because of the thought processes of you had to adapt to fit in kind of a thing. I think that's critically important. You should never be embarrassed of your past or feel like to hide the things that you went through. Be proud of what you went through. Be proud how you overcame it and adapted and become the person that you are.